many, many months, the general consensus was you don't take G2 to Consulate. We know that Team Empire insta-bans Villa, so they're a little boxed in. You have to compete in a best of 5. You've only got 1 ban at your disposal. Might as well take it out on the Villa map that, you know, Empire never plays. That actually makes it easier for G2 to be able to pick the maps around them. The 2 best maps in Empire's arsenal would be Oregon and then Consulate. Now, we do have Oregon on the board. It's going to be the 4th map. It's a long time for Empire to have to wait to get there. It could be in good shape. One of these teams could have put it away before we even get to map number 4.
And Consulate, as you said, one of Empire's best maps, you rightfully predicted, was the ban from G2. So it makes a lot of sense to see that taken out. Coastline, you can expect to be G2's map, all things considered. I mean, look at their performance on Coastline just yesterday. They looked so strong against Reciprocity in that map number 2, ending at 7-2 their favor. And it honestly just looked like G2 throughout that whole map. No real response from their opponents. This time their opponents, though, Team Empire, who have been just performing out of their minds through this tournament and throughout Pro League so far, could see a different result.
The final site that G2 played on Coastline last year to win the championship will be the very first site that they pick in hopes of doing the same this year. It'll be Kitchen on the main floor of Coastline, and Empire will start on attack. It's a bit strange to see a Thermite on a Kitchen take on Coastline. I think that's more just that if you're going to bring a Hard Breacher, a lot of teams will bring Hibana because there's really only 1 site here on this map that you need to worry about possibly doing any hard breaching on. I mean, House Theater, which hasn't been played all that much over the tournament.
It's also relevant on a Billiards take as well, if you want to take from VIP and try and cut off rotation between the sites. But I think, honestly, Hibana probably could have been the right pick here. Thermite seems like a safe pick from Empire. They're just trying to cover all their bases. And that makes sense, I suppose, but it's not really going to help them a whole lot, as you stated, on Kitchen. Apart from that, the lineup from G2, you can see both the Echo and the Maestro have been brought, neither of them banned, and that's going to be such a potent combination and able to deny entry into the site while actually simultaneously roaming with those operators.
Karzheka tried to drone and get information, but no, he's not going to be able to get anything on jNSzki, who's rotating, gets picked off by Shockwave. And Empire will get the very first kill in this grand finals. A good entry from the Thermite. Now, Team Empire is well known for having both Joystick and Karzheka carry the weight on so many different maps. But over this tournament, as we noted before the show actually began, well, it was Sheppard and Shockwave who have been doing great work, and especially Scyther, who goes for 1 and picks up his 2nd kill, as the buck from above will just pick off G2 playing down below. Fabian and Pengu will be the only hope for G2 as Joystick in his own altercation over on Cool Vibe Stairs. Tries to do some damage, makes quite a bit of his own, and Scyther is also been eaten up a little bit as he just sits upside in Penthouse. He's going to be able to just tear up that entire floor. The buck might still have a frag grenade at his disposal. He's got 2 of them, in fact. Karzheka used 1 earlier, pulls out the SMG-11, and it looks like we are close to a perfect round. Empire sets quite a tempo with that round victory. Nobody from G2 able to do a single thing, and Empire will take the Kitchen attack.
That round started off as, wow, it's unusual to see G2 losing control of their roamers while simultaneously being punished for their roam by losing someone in terms of manpower and then not get any refrags. Following the loss of the roam upstairs, it's also unusual for G2 to be punished so much by this vertical play. Empire got some really awesome kills, Scyther specifically, as you could just see, using control of Master to their advantage. G2 just not able to get anything going that round. And again, very unusual, especially on their map, Coastline. You would have expected there to be a little bit more of a response from G2, more active roaming perhaps, more control in terms of knowledge. The fact that someone pushed in through luggage and caught jNSzki off guard, free kill, how is that happening? Now, we're going to be going to the double bar, and 2 are always on the move with these sites. Not commonly going to try and repeat a site unless it's on one of those maps that we only have 2 defendable sites total.
All right, so let's go down to the double bars, Michael.
Let's.
Bomb located by
you see different on G2 side of things. They've largely blown up their composition. Go for this roam again. I was going to note, yesterday jNSzki had one of the best games that he's had of the entire tournament, through group stages and then onwards to the playoffs. And it was very needed. Fabian even tweeted after the game that G2 wasn't saving strats, they were just saving jNSzki for that particular matchup. Well, they're going to need him here. Once again, with the fragging power that Empire has, it's now trickled down to the rest of their roster. G2 is going to need to be able to land that counterpunch effectively. Yeah, you can rely on Kantoraketti, but jNSzki also needs to pull his weight. Pengu was the member of G2 who was shown off during the pre-show, I think for good reason. Every single member of both of these teams has contributed in a multitude of ways. So towards round number 2 now, 30 seconds on in. And drone work upstairs on that second floor for Empire. They saw that there was a vigil playing beneath. The window's already opened up in the blue bar. Will establish some control for Empire to just sit outside. Soft destruction from Joystick, but Fabian shuts him down so swiftly. As it's not even seconds after Joystick opens up that floor, and he'll be off the board. There's another body that goes down as Fabian is inside of office, making good work of Karzheka. And now engaged with Shockwave, who trades him off with Scyther getting his own just a couple seconds sooner. And both of these teams fragging very well, and within 1 minute and 10 seconds, there have been 4 casualties. Make that 5 as jNSzki takes out Shockwave, and Empire now finds themselves in bad place. Sheppard goes down too, so Scyther just holding this window. He'd opened it up about 40 seconds sooner, but he's very vulnerable. There's 2 different opportunities to peek him. He's gonna toss a frag grenade and jump in, and jNSzki shuts him down. G2 bounces back on round number 2, quite effectively and quite quickly.
G2 just committing to those fights, a lot of the engagement happening actually on the outside of the building, and not going to back down from Empire, that's for sure. Excellent to see them pulling that out.
Heavy favorite in this entire tournament was Evil Geniuses. We noted this on Friday, that you couldn't walk more than a couple feet or a couple meters, depending on which system you use of measurement. To not see an Evil Geniuses jersey, I was actually very curious to see which team that this crowd would embrace. It was Norarengo, and everybody really liked them, but they didn't make it to the finals, and now it sounds like for the time being it's going to be G2's crowd, which is a complete opposite from last year. It was dead silent whenever G2 was able to take a round off of Evil Geniuses in the previous Invitational. So,
yeah,
the first time that this team's actually getting cheered here in Montreal.
And G2 win a lot of events, and because of that, sometimes they can become the enemy. Once Season 1, Season 4, Season 5, the second Invitational, Paris Major, Season 8, they've been on a streak, and indomitable from most people's accounts. And because of that, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to root for them. But
5 seconds to insertion.
Empire, on the other hand, a team that hasn't really won any majors. They just entered into Pro League this season.
Attacker's objective is to defuse
You know, they've been on, like I said, a bit of a miracle run to make it as far as they have. And they're still looking like they're going to keep going toe-to-toe with G2 non-stop. Through these rounds, all of the engagements have been happening very early, as per normal Siege. That last round ended with about 1 minute 30 on the clock. That's way too much time for usual Siege. And it's because both teams are willing to take the fights and able to win them. That's why we also see the 1-1 scoreline. Just gonna keep going back and forth, I'm sure. G2 going for a long roam, as per usual, on kitchen defense. They only have Goga on site right now. Everyone else from G2 is trying to exert some pressure on the attack as they clear the roamers out.
To really speak to the dominance that Team Empire has had over the last last year, they've lost 2 series, period. One of which is DreamHack Winter, and one even before that. This team is on an enormous winning streak, and they're hoping that it's going to continue. Shockwave on the Fragmite, taking down jNSzki. Say goodbye to the Mute. And once again, will be the very first casualty. Exact same mirror to what we saw in round number 1. So a good entry there from Team Empire to be able to take one person off of the board. There's Joystick to gun down Pengu. And Empire finds themselves with a bigger lead, just over 1 minute into the round. Good pacing and good timing for the Russians.
G2's roam usually gets, well, punished less in these rounds because they're able to detect their enemies and retreat before an engagement can become too complicated. And then another G2 roamer will come to support them. But in this situation, Empire are seizing every opportunity. They're landing all of their shots. They're not allowing the roamers from G2 to fall back and get support, resulting in a lot of 1v1s. Fabian's gonna win the first one for his team though, and he'll take down Shock. So the hard destruction gone for Team Empire. It's not essential on this site, but it's certainly going to be missed. Kantoraketti trying to do some damage at Projector. He's laying in some fire, but the support from Karzheka is going to allow Empire to put themselves up another man.
Goga knows he's got a body inside a Sunrise bar. That's going to be Joystick, who uncharacteristically misses his shots. And G2 will retake the bars downstairs, but it's a kitchen defense, so as long as you can hold that bar, you still have to worry a little bit about that second floor presence. That's where the buck of Scyther is playing, and he'll just sit up there the entire time. The only reason that buck will get called down to help on the main floor is if the rest of his team falters. But Karzheka is also up there, so Sheppard is going to be tasked completely alone with getting the diffuser down. He's got 20 seconds, he's over by the service door. He'll have to really rely on the rest of his team to box G2 out. But G2 still has an ACOG available on Goga. Very damaged though. Sheppard going for the defuse! The Spaniard, 2 big kills! And looking for a clutch opportunity is Goga just a second off. Can't hit Sheppard, the defuse goes down, and the IQ fell. G2 a retake, they'll get the diffuser. Celebration from the Europeans, and they will take the lead and successfully defend the kitchen. Round number 3.
And this is why G2 is touted as the best team in the world. That was Empire's round through and through, but Goga managed to bring it back. So, successful hold on Kitchen from G2. Had to be their second attempt there, but they managed it regardless. The fact that they managed to win a site that they so clearly are having, I mean, to be honest, a disadvantage at holding is very impressive for G2, and it's going to help them a lot when they get to go to other bomb sites, which possibly will be easier to defend for them. That's 2 rounds in a row that on the Kitchen site where Empire looked dominant attacking. We're gonna be going to Billiards now, so something new here from G2 is they cannot go back to the double bar just yet.
Attackers have discovered the location.
Let's set the tone for Coastline. Now we know that this is G2's map. The pop-up yesterday that we saw on the screen noted how it was a 16-1 record. Make that 17-1 with their victory over Reciprocity yesterday. And well, this is a pretty good map for G2. 17-2 would need to be the scoreline for Empire to obviously take this map and move us towards map number 2 with the lead in favor of the upstart European squad.
5 seconds left before
how important is winning Coastline for Empire, Michael? All things considered, not just in terms of setting the tone, and how debilitating, more importantly, is it if Empire's not able to pull through on Coastline? Is it just par for the course given how good G2 is, or is there greater worry here?
I think we talk about the mental game a lot in this, in Siege, and it's very important, that's for sure. And that's one of the things that hasn't seemed to affect Empire nearly as much as other teams. It is absolutely shocking that Empire are currently playing on the biggest stage in Siege, and it's their first time here. On top of that, they haven't faltered through the tournament, and they're going up against G2, going toe-to-toe in these rounds already. That just shouldn't happen usually. Usually there's a little bit of a hump that teams have to get over in terms of experience, in terms of the mental fortitude. But we don't have that problem for Empire, and it's very impressive. I don't think it's really going to be a huge factor for them if they lose map number 1. They'll know, hey, you know what? It's a best of 5. We have plenty of opportunities. First kill here for Joystick. Fabian goes down. Chihiro in the last round. And Smokes as well, eliminated for G2. That could open up opportunities for a plant in Billiards. There's still the Yokais and potentially C4s, but that's a really good pick for Empire.
Yeah, and a really good start to the round. Not just being able to walk in and take map control away, as Empire did, but you gotta think, for G2, they are strong on this map, so they have the ability to battle back when they find themselves trailing in terms of numbers. But you can't continuously do that on the remaining 4 maps after Coastline. Win or lose, finding yourselves down a member within the first minute or so will eventually just beat you down and prove to be too much to come back from. So I'd imagine that at some point G2, as they have done in the past, will have to play a little bit more gingerly on this realm. And upstairs in the blue bar, Kantoraketti is in trouble. He's gonna get pushed from 2 separate angles. Joystick and Scyther both there to be able to gun him down, and the Bandit will not be able to get out of the bar alive. Goga's also been down, as Shock is there, and jNSzki missing all of his shots onto Joystick as Pengu in a 1v5, but he's got 2 separate sights trained on him. Shockwave inside a VIP could possibly go for Pengu, but pistol out, anticlimactic finish. Empire dominate that round, and we'll be back at 2 apiece.
Wow. But around there from Empire, these attack wins that they've been netting are absolutely one-sided. I mean, we even saw the round on Kitchen last time they were attacking. It seemed like it was going to be Empire. But of course, that clutch, most notably from Goga, is why we got back to, well, why we are currently at an even round count. That attack, it just seemed like G2 were outside of their element, missing a lot of shots and opportunities. Empire, on the other hand, making great use of that thermite. You can see in VIP, again, cutting the sights in half and just going for a straight aquarium take every time that G2 went for a peek to try and take a fight in their advantage. It ended up working against them by causing Empire to get a hit. Because Empire just have not been missing their shots so far throughout this match. We're gonna go back to the double bars, the first site that G2 were able to successfully defend and should be their safe haven in this defensive half.
This is the way the bars played out as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, both of these, or all these rounds, I want to say both of these teams have looked very decisive in the rounds that they've taken. It hasn't really been a back and forth that we anticipate, these rounds going down to the wire with one team pulling it out at the last minute.
There was the one Kitchen round, but I don't know. It hasn't been exactly what we were expecting.
It was still like it was a 1v2 or a 1v3 with...
I mean, it was like a 3v2, I think.
Sheppard was on really low HP at that point.
It was a 2v3. Oh, engagement early in the front door. I'm not sure what jNSzki was doing there, trying to go for an aggressive play onto Joystick, and, well, he's punished for it.
Fabian's there for the possible trade out if he wants it, but will instead head through security and go on over towards office. See if there's anybody there. There's one body on drone, but Fabian will have to get out of there. He's on surveillance right now. He's going to get marked. Got both Shockwave and Scyther. Good opportunity. Joystick has a drone as well, and man, the proficiency that we see of Empire on this entry. Fabian will take one down as Shockwave had grabbed one earlier, so both teams will lose one body in that ensuing fray. It's 50 seconds, and it's good tempo for Team Empire. They've taken out the two SAS operators on defense. Kanto comes out of nowhere, shuts down Joystick. No entrance through those main doors. So control for Empire over on the office side of things, but they're going to struggle to do much in the office. There was a grenade timed effectively, a drop. No! Karzheka blows himself up. Doesn't time that very well. You can't outrun your own frag grenade, and Fabian likely shaking his head in amusement. That's a free kill just gifted to G2.
You can't be making mistakes like that in a 3 versus 3. That's going to put the rest of Empire in such a bad spot for this round. Goga's holding on to the Sunrise bar. We've got Shock really focused on his flank because Karzheka was unable to take care of Fabian inside of security. Shock will be going for a peek into the A-bomb site, which is, as of this moment, undefended. Yokai drones potentially above it, but no actual bodies from G2 holding it down. Got both Kantoraketti and Goga holding onto Sunrise. Shock's gonna go for Thermite. This is risky, he knows someone's behind him. Fabian has relocated to the garden. He can use his impacts on the garden wall to open this up whenever he pleases. And because Empire are coming down to the last minute, it's going to be Fabian in such a playmake position.
Shockwave's by that A-bomb site with Sheppard just outside. Watching the window, Shockwave is in, but he doesn't have the diffuser. Sheppard does, and Sheppard is nestled over by that stone ledge outside. Goga finds Shockwave, and now once again, Sheppard will have to get into the site and attempt something that is oh so difficult even in a 1v1, but in a 1v3 with the clock working against you, can be really challenging. Sheppard starts with one body on a Kantoraketti, pre-fire down inside of security, thinks that there's somebody that might be there. He's correct, Fabian is playing not too far off, but G2 has time on their side. Waste the 20 seconds for Sheppard to go for the plant, but he's not gonna get there. Fabian rotates out, G2 will take the lead once again, as they had that time looking so effectively against them. Hide for 20 seconds, just wait. When he goes into that plant, he's either gonna have to fall off or die, as he's very vulnerable, and the clock will be at 0.
So, in that round, Karzheka missing his grenade is where it all started going wrong for Empire. Right here. If he had been able to land it and then follow up with a kill onto Fabian, it probably would have been a good clear for Empire into the B bomb site, the blue bar. Actually, correction, the A bomb site. But it wasn't. And why is that? Well, after Karzheka died, there was no one else to drone players from Empire into security to confront Fabian, and they were caught in a crossfire, unable to really get control of site. Why was there no one to drone? Because the diffuser was down elsewhere, and one of the two players had to go pick it up, leaving the other to linger inside of the office and wait for his teammate. It took way too much time, and Empire found themselves in a really bad spot. Essentially, at that point, an unwinnable round with the way that G2 had set themselves up.
At what point does G2 stop losing a body within 20 seconds of Empire opening up a barricade, a doorway, a window, etc.? We're going to see another aggressive roam here from G2. Kantoraketti usually plays the alibi. They got Pengu on it this time around. Empire keeping pretty static with their lineup. They like the 5 operators they have. It's been working for the most part, barring Karzheka doesn't blow himself up with a grenade again. He's got 2 available. Keep in mind that the Jaeger is banned as well, so it's a smart play from Empire to double up on frag grenades, as both Scyther and Karzheka are. There's room to have more projectiles and throwables on Empire's side of things, but hey.
Think about how well the soft destruction worked for Empire the last time, well, the first time they attacked on Kitchen. It was a really good round for them, and if I'm not mistaken, a perfect round, because they got control of the roamers, took them out upstairs, and following that, they were able to take out the anchors using the soft destruction that they had in abundance. Now, it seems like they're going to be going for a similar strategy this time. They start droning out by VIP and Penthouse, trying to clear above. Empire's a little bit spread out right now, all over the south and west side of the building. They've yet to make an entrance. They're also on the north balcony, and that seems to be the main entry point.
It's an explosion that goes off, but uncertain as to who it was from. Well, frag grenades are there for Empire, so it was likely an impact that was used. There's 4 impacts that are available on G2's side of things. Fabian has 2. It's likely that Pengu has 2 as well. You see Fabian has 0 impacts left, so one of them might have been his. It's a rotate that's all the way at the back. It's taken advantage of by Kantoraketti with jNSzki there as well. And G2 have been contesting at Penthouse Theater very aggressively and losing it most of the times. Well, they doubled up on it. Instead of having jNSzki in there to die all on his lonesome, got the dog of Kantoraketti. But it's a freebie for Shockwave. He's got all the time in the world to make a play. He walks on up and takes out Kanto. Joystick knows that there's a Legion playing nearby as he shoots out one of the traps and now looks around the corner, and there's Fabian, but Fabian is just winning these fights. He's feasting upon Joystick. Every time these two seem to interact with one another, the Swede's been the one coming away with it. So, Empire finds themselves down 2 incredibly powerful operators and will now need to rely on Shock, who's been doing an exceptional job finding the scoreboard to carry a lot of the weight for this team through the final 45 seconds.
Well, it's vertical control here for Empire, but at a man disadvantage and having already lost their buck, it's not perfect, that's for sure. The horizontal roam from G2 is still established as well inside of the main lobby. That's 2 players, both jNSzki and Fabian, trying to hold on to this position. Could be a free kill for Shock, but he misses his shots. Unfortunate to see that from the Thermite. Empire are going to have to recover even harder now. Karzheka, though, does take out jNSzki, so that's one of the 2 roamers in main lobby eliminated, and it was, in fact, the potentially free kill that Shock missed out on. Meanwhile, the plant is going down. Where are the yokai drones? It doesn't seem that G2 are aware, and Empire's going to get it. Shock gets another one. It's a shutdown from Sheppard onto Goga, leaving just Pengu in Kitchen. He's got Sheppard on the floor, so a 1 versus 2. As the run out comes out, though, Karzheka will shut him out, and Empire take another attack on Kitchen.
Both teams drawing the first half on Coastline. That is very impressive for Empire here. And we need to see if G2 can tighten up as we switch sides now. Like I said, even though Coastline trends towards the defense now, just because of the meta that we're in, drawing on a map as good as G2 are on it is excellent. Now we know that Team Empire is no slouch on Coastline, though we have seen them lose it a couple times. They've been winning a lot of fights. And a couple of those rounds were not lost, but put in a position where it was very difficult for G2 to be able to win them because they were down bodies early. Once again, 2, 3, 4 rounds where you find yourself in a 3v5 or a 4v5, that's really difficult to come back from.
The communication from Empire in that last round is just astonishing. The way that they managed to push in through delivery and get the plant while no one was paying attention, beautiful understanding of the situation from Sheppard that had to have been communicated by the rest of Team Empire. Meanwhile, Shock misses his shot on jNSzki in main lobby. But what does he do? He calls Karzheka, somebody rotating out of main lobby to the main hallway. Karzheka establishes himself on the drop-down, which is open, and capitalizes on that call. The way that Empire is putting together and lining up these kills is truly impressive on attack, and I'm sure it will be much the same now as they transition to defense. And again, as we've talked about, defense being the preferred side. The only thing that makes me say that this is a nice and even first half is how proficient G2 are, not only on defense, but also attack of Coastline. It's going to be Billiards Hookah for the first round, Team Empire.
Empire have struggled in the past to be able to gather information on defense. We saw how effective that drone work was on attack. Times they would have a flank drone inside of main lobby. They'd have a drone coming in through security. They'd have another drone waiting just over by the office area. Now, Empire have tried to correct this by loading up with information operators. You've got Shockwave and Scyther with the 2 yokai drones and then the 3 black eye cams. And Joystick will take a big gamble, take out jNSzki, who's not having the greatest of game on the tarps. Kantoraketti will finish a body off, gets slapped by Sheppard, but his breaching round will still claim Shockwave. But shaken off of the tarps, at least for the time being. Now, at the very start of this matchup, when the operator bans came out, Michael, you noted that there was no Jaeger on the board. Now, not only is this a great operator to frag effectively, but also can enable a Ying play. But Karzheka takes out 2, one of which is his teammate, and the rush from G2 does not go anywhere inside of Hookah. Pengu's position alerted, and well, right behind the shield is Karzheka shuts down Pengu, and it'll be a lead for Team Empire. Here as the crowd applauds. It was a good play to stop that momentum and aggression at the hands of the Ying from G2.
Good read of the situation. The gas canisters, the C4, they all came out as soon as the Candelas were thrown into the building. And that's an excellent understanding of the situation that was about to arise there. G2 should have had Hookah control well in hand, potentially 2 free kills on the players from Empire who are holding that site, but not so. Yes, Karzheka did get a TK, but that player in Hookah was effectively dead at that moment, thanks to the way that G2 was playing the round. So the C4 was ultimately an excellent play from Empire and Karzheka specifically. There's that shot from Sheppard, really impressive to see that happen. And it's because of Scyther on the yokai drones, as you can see, that the call came out to throw the C4. He was punished for it, but overall, Empire were just so well established. And they managed to take that round because of such a dedicated push from G2 and how well Empire were able to punish them.
Sheppard was a pretty worthy sacrifice there to be able to win the round, all things considered.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sheppard.
He did his work. He got Candelaed.
They needed you. They needed you. Get Candelaed, get blinded, get blown up by your own team C4. It's fine. You win the round. And you were an instrumental part of it by being the sacrificial lamb.
It worked out in the end. Now we'll be going to the double bar here for Empire. Site that we've seen G2 tended to favor. They managed to win it both times they went here. The way that these rounds are playing out seems like there's different mentalities in the defense and the attack for both squads. As we noted on, Empire did not bring Ying. jNSzki is going to punish Shock for a little bit of a, well, way too aggressive peek outside. Because of that, G2 find themselves in a great spot going into this round. They're also bringing the IQ, which is going to counter the cameras that are already established from Shock. So, effectively, no influence on this round from Shockwave in the end.
His cameras will still be there, though, as long as Pengu doesn't get them all.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get them all, but knowing Pengu on IQ, I expect him to.
It's a big expectation.
I don't know if it's so crazy. I mean, we're playing Coastline, too. It's a pretty shallow map, but there's a lot of common spots for those cameras.
Once again, trying to abuse the lack of ADS as they know Joystick's playing around the corner. He will not get away. An entry from Fabian will give an even bigger lead as I stumble over my words there for just a second, to G2. C4 will go off from Scyther, but it will not net anything. Fabian's lost a bit of HP, but that's really it. That was in the fight earlier on.
Karzheka's in a good spot here to flank from VIP, should he find the opportunity. G2 is trying to take control of the main hallway and as well, Billiards and Hookah. So this could be a huge play make from Karzheka if he times it right, but yeah, it all comes down to timing. He does have the one impact to make his rotation shorter if he wants to as well, but that will alert G2 to his play. G2 currently trying to use that soft destruction to the best of their ability, and they're going to throw in their smokes, try to go for a plant, not at default spot, but actually just inside of the building. jNSzki is getting hit Sheppard by Sunrise Bar. That was an excellent shot there. Team Empire going for a forced rotation, but Pengu's on top of it. It's just Karzheka. He's above. He'll have to retake onto 5, and he's not even going to get one. G2, what a round. Perfect. Not losing a single body.
Put a couple more of those rounds together, and you easily take this map if you're G2, but Empire, a bit of sloppiness, all things considered.
Yeah, all things considered, I agree.
Do you know how many times we've said that?
We said that probably at least 132 times over this event.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near that high. It's more like 20, but...
Well, I was shooting for the sky.
When somebody tweets at you saying, hey, you're saying this too much.
You know, actually, I imagine now someone's going to go back and count it. And we're going to have accurate statistics.
I hope not. I hope people have better things.
GG?
I hope things have better. I hope they have better things to do with their time.
So that attack from G2, taking control of the top floor, very well done. They didn't even need to use VIP to accomplish it either. There were some redundant roamers from Team Empire on the east side of the building, and that of course being Karzheka specifically on the Legion. Not able to really influence the push because he didn't time his rotate very well, and allowed G2 specifically to establish so much control vertically to force the roamers to rotate. Then the push in through the site was unexpected. Team Empire got caught off guard, the anchors specifically did, because they still saw above being opened up at the same time G2 were pushing. And usually, you're not going to do both of them at the same time. So that's just really good knowledge of when it's appropriate to push from G2. And yeah, well done to catch Empire with the pants down in that round. We'll be going to Kitchen now for Empire. Their first attempt here.
Two bodies inside a site for Empire right now. I think that was similar to Reciprocity yesterday, wasn't it? Reciprocity had 4 bodies off site. They only kept 1 person actually playing inside the site. Didn't work so well for them.
I mean, we've been seeing that from G2 a lot too, and Empire are coming close with only 2 inside right now.
There's a team that's going to be able to roam effectively and work well with one another. It's definitely Empire, though. It doesn't really matter who it is.
And G2, but both of these teams. And G2 are pretty quick on their taken from the west side currently. They've got control of Blue and Sunrise Bar, and they're already droning into Kitchen, which they should very soon call, thanks to Kantoraketti's current drone in Kitchen, that, hey, A site is clear, we could go for a play here. They've also got the smokes cut off the site. Sees Sheppard on the rotation, though, so as he has easy access to A, he'll be needed, or we'll see him get taken care of before G2 actually goes for a push. And that's the attempt right now from Fabian, but he's going to miss his nade.
Oh, not the greatest nade at all. Gonna try for a...
Well, the first one was not the greatest. The second one was...
even worse.
Even worse.
And Joystick is there, takes out Pengu, and G2 not in good shape. As the cloaking ability will be reactivated from Joystick going around, Empire's just gonna collapse now as G2 themselves not in really good shape. Fabian gets nowhere, Joystick an easy kill, and Kanto nothing. Flawless round for Empire. To answer back, it's a flawless round from G2. It was a flawless round from Empire as well.
We've seen like 3 or 4 flawless rounds so far. Just in one map, you don't usually have that happen. And, well, it's frequent here. Very well coordinated there from Empire to see the G2 attack and punish it before it was able to fully establish itself to execute onto the site. Once G2 went for a push into the site, the smokes actually ended up working against them. Gas canisters on top of the smoke grenades from the attacking team, and making that push into Kitchen damaged everyone from G2, and they were punished by the players outside of Kitchen in the adjacent bomb site. This run out from Joystick as well, absolutely excellent game sense to know that there's someone out there. I mean, we don't have a Valkyrie on the defense in that round. So that's just Joystick understanding the situation and making a play around that situation. There must have been something to prompt him to go for that run out, but no matter what, good game sense.
All right, round number 10. I wanted to note for a second there that we saw Shas, the coach of G2, on camera for a lot of that previous round, just in the background.
10 seconds left.
Both Fabian and Pengu. He's fidgeting. I don't see Shas fidget, ever. He stands there, he doesn't really make faces. Oh, I mean, makes faces of his team is winning. I think this might be the most nervous that G2 has been heading into an actual matchup because they know how good Empire is. They know how Empire can take over games as effectively as they do.
And when it's Shaz, it's really worrisome. He is, in a way, the backbone of G2, in that he's always ready to support his teams, both in terms of morale and strategy, analytics, and understanding of their opponents. Empire loses the first player in this round to Goga, the great entry, playing on Habana, no less.
Joystick's run out on Pengu, as you noted, was pivotal at the very end of that previous round, and he won't be there to do it again. So probably the best player on Empire and one of the best players in the world at the moment in the way that Joystick plays this game. Well, he's gone. You've taken him off of the Jaeger, he's just going to sit on the Vigil. Doesn't necessarily still have the same fragging potential, but still able to do a lot of damage if need be.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
The slower rounds that we've seen between these two teams as well.
I mean, this match has been slowly getting slower.
It's very
weird. Yeah, the first couple rounds, we had some very fast ones, and now G2, very patient on the attack. They got the early pick, and I think that what's going through G2's minds right now is they don't want to squander it. They're going to open up holes from Skylight onto the A bar, disabling the play of that position, forcing Empire to play further off-site, though Empire has the perfect kit to do so. And it's going to be Jonas to get another one. Karzheka goes down, and we've got just 3 players on Empire, all of them anchors. Shock, what an excellent shot onto Kantoraketti, playing on the tarps. He will be punished for that aggressiveness. Not an easy angle to play, to be sure. And not an easy shot that Shock just managed to land.
The 5v3 lead, the most dangerous lead in the game.
Yes. And it will be punished already, putting us to the 4v3, which is not ideal for G2, though they do still have plenty of utility.
A lot.
Yeah.
Likely have both sets of frag grenades in Fabian's hands. Jonas will still have the smoke grenades as well. Scyther sees a body on Cool Vibe stairs. It was Fabian playing there. Scyther's going to get juiced up from the dog. His position will not be known, but the yokai falls to the sledge of Fabian, who's just patiently waiting. Empire's time is being eaten away at here.
Scyther wanted to go for a play, and that's why he got overhealed, but he was not able to do it. Jonas gets Shock as well, so this is looking bad for Empire.
Sheppard will hold things out as Scyther rushes in, using that little bit of extra HP to pick up 2, and that's Diffuser down in the middle of the site as well. G2 will have to go for raw power here, as they're not going to be able to get that one back. But Fabian on the retreat, traded off, and Scyther looking to try to clutch, and he'll have to against Pengu. But Pengu, nobody's clutching against him, pulls out the pistol, and we are tied back up. These two teams cannot shake one another. 5-5, and a good read from G2 as things look like they were about to go bad in a hurry.
Anyone but Pengu in that situation, and I saw Empire miraculously getting the comeback in the 2 versus 5. It came down to the wire, 1v1 at the end, and that is just really unnerving if you're G2, and I'm sure confidence boosting if you're Empire, despite losing that round. A lot of that came down to the first pick we saw at the very beginning of the round, where Joystick was eliminated. Imagine if he had been present on that site take. Following that, it was another pick for G2, putting them in a 5v3, forcing pressure onto the anchors. This amazing play from Pengu, no holds barred, just going for the rush through the site. If he had lingered there, it would have put his opponent in the advantage and likely, again, have given Empire the round and the match point.
It's been worrisome for Empire is that Kantoraketti has not woken up yet. Sitting at 3 kills and 9 deaths, Kanto has not really been effective in his role so far throughout this game. And the problem is that for Empire, well, they're allowing Fabian, Pengu, and somewhat even Jonas, who's had a couple very big rounds despite his early opening deaths on defense, to help carry the load for G2. You wake up and anger Kanto. It's a scary thing for every single team.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
I think that's really the story to be told here is Kanto has yet to wake up. That doesn't mean that it's going to be Team Empire taking this whole series. It just means once he does, this might be a little bit less even. Empire going for a defense here of Billiards and Hookah, and it's a run out from Joystick. He's gonna do a whole mess of damage. 2 on the floor, and Goga lit up. You gotta imagine if it's just been 2 there for G2, it would have been an absolute stomp for Joystick. He very wisely does not commit to a repeat though. You gotta admire him for seeing that he's done so much damage, put 2 on the floor, and not fully committing. That means that Empire will put themselves at a substantial HP advantage.
But also utility advantage, too. Look at Pengu's Monty is running stuns, not smokes.
But not lose anyone. And yeah, that's an awkward thing for Pengu. Maybe just trying to clear out ADSs.
You also saw that Jonas appeared to throw a grenade up as well, just to try and, I guess, hide the fact that the members of G2 are getting brought back to life. It could have been a massive play from Joystick that just falls a little short.
I managed to get something out of it, at least. And it did seemingly trip up G2. Now, since the rounds have been getting slower and slower from G2 on the attack, that's definitely going to be something great for Empire moving forward. Got Jonas clearing into VIP, using Jackal to the best of his ability. This Hibana hole is going to be very powerful for G2 as it cuts off the rotation between A and B. With that rotation cut off, it means that Scyther and Shock by the blue stairs are going to be isolated from Sheppard, Karzheka, and Joystick over by A and Aquarium. It's full anchors right now for Empire, unless you count the roamers in Aquarium, but immediate vicinity, it's full anchor, and Empire are just trying to hold on for the last minute.
Pengu's gonna get assaulted here on the Cool Vibe stairs. He knows he's got 2 bodies, and Empire, fearing a possible second body coming on up, will retreat for the time being. But look at this! Joystick didn't get him earlier, but he's gonna get him now with 2! Sheppard collapses on Jonas and Fabian at the hookah door. The only member of the team that appeared to walk away with full HP. He's completely blind on information as there's a smoke stopping the members of Empire from being able to see much. In vain, Fabian might cook this grenade, toss it out, but it goes off a bit too early. He's gonna do nothing. It's a flawless round from Empire. I think you could say that Joystick probably won them that round in the first 20 seconds. There was no recovery from G2. They will take a timeout. Try to stop this bleeding here and send us into overtime. But right now, Team Empire sit on match point. Remember, 17-1 is G2's record, going all the way back to the summer of last year on Coastline. This is all but impossible for teams to be able to defeat G2 on this map, and Empire is so close to doing so.
They don't lose here. If we manage to see overtime, as a reminder, it will be 2 rounds you have to get up over your opponent in OT in order to win. So if we keep going back and forth in OT, where the sides switch every single round, then we could have a very long map, number 1, should we even get there. But with the way that Empire have been playing on defense, that might not be possible. They'll be going to Kitchen, a site that has been defended once so far from Empire and has been successfully held also once. So this is a perfect dream opportunity for Empire to just finish map number 1 and push us to number 2 border, which again is Empire's pick. This map being G2's pick, it's quite substantial. It was the first map that G2 wanted to go to, and right now they're up against match point against them. It's not a great situation, to be sure, if you're a G2 fan.
G2 bans one of your best maps in Consulate. Okay, you still got Oregon left. It's probably the best map. You have it all the way down in 4th. That is bold. Saving your best map for 4th.
Playing the marathon, I suppose.
Could be.
Yeah.
Anticipating that they're probably going to drop 1 map at least, or at least win 1 map heading into that. But, man, how do you respond? All right, Consulate goes by the wayside, you can't play it. G2 says we don't want to take you to it.
10 seconds
You
to
respond by taking, statistically, probably G2's best map away from them. Maybe not best map in total, but at least by the numbers it is. And you win it? It's a pretty good answer back from what G2 does to you in that map ban phase. I think there were a lot of people that were expecting an Oregon ban, just simply to try and get under the skin and maybe take away the best tool that Empire had. It's a bit surprising to see Consulate go. To imagine that there's a reason why G2 left it to go through the ban phase as well. So Empire have everything at their disposal, and it'd be a massive lead and massive win for them on this series to take Coastline out and undoubtedly shake G2.
You know, in a way, we have the most prepared team for any event ever in G2. I mean, that, based on what I've seen from many teams, they prepare more than most. Coming up against one of what they have said publicly, Empire, one of the least prepared teams. And it's an interesting clash. Shock going to get an first kill onto jNSzki as he tries to push in through luggage hallway. Curious that the Jackal was trying to peek that right after Fabian opened it up. A very dangerous play. Left him exposed. And he was punished for it.
Karzheka trying to get a kill of his own just by Hall of Fame and VIP. He'll move on out. Looking to try to get around, but no, there's Pengu there. And Pengu doesn't lose anything in that encounter. Joystick will let the drone of Pengu sail right on by. And here's the beauty of Vigil. If he'd engaged his cloaking device there, then he would have been spotted. Pengu's not going to be able to get out alive. Joystick finds him, tackles him. And Vigil's best ability to be hidden and undetected isn't even part of his toolkit in that one.
Didn't need it. No drones coming from G2 there into the projector master side of things. So this roam from Empire, so successful right now. It'll finally be punished though. Shot goes down and here we go, G2. They're not out of it just yet. Scyther challenging onto the main hallway. He's got a good angle on that front door. Joystick's put to just a sliver of HP and he could be taken out at a moment's notice. Still plenty of time for G2. They don't need to rush themselves right now. And Joystick above will finally be finished off by Kantoraketti entering the top floor by himself. He's going to start opening up holes. Doesn't have a shotgun, but he'll make do with his rifle.
You got a nitro cell for Sheppard as he watches. You know, in charge of looking towards service and delivery, as Scyther knows that there might be a push coming from the main lobby. If not, Scyther that can at least still work on the ceiling above. Fabian trying to see the feet of the Maestro, can't do it, as there's a toilet blocking his way. So the two members of Empire will take a deep breath and see if we will need overtime for map number 1. A beautiful shot by Fabian. He just walks in and removes Scyther. Sheppard's position given away. He's got a door and a reinforced wall to play around as Sheppard will now need to stop the diffuse going down. He has a nitro cell available. Pull it out or the diffuser goes off to Goga. And now G2 just watch. There's only 2 ways for Sheppard to get out of this situation. Knows he's got 1 mark down, but there's 3 bodies that are gonna go towards him. A grenade will go in, it doesn't go off. Sheppard gets moved to the side, and G2 will force us to overtime, unlimited overtime, Michael, on our very first map.
Sheppard lost that round as soon as he let the diffuser go down. At that moment, G2 was in a picture-perfect situation. 3 versus 1, they have 2 rotations to watch, and all they need to do is wait. And Sheppard had absolutely no teeth in the clutch, but the round ended much sooner than that. The fact that G2 were able to bounce back from the excellent roaming that Empire had and get the refrags, as well as the vertical control, was quite substantial. We even saw Kantoraketti with his excellent game knowledge, able to pick open holes that should usually not be accessible if you just have the rifle. But because Kantoraketti's been playing this game for as long as he has, he knows exactly where he needs to open things up. And he made full use of that top floor. That shot from Fabian right there as well. Taking out the Maestro, absolutely massive. Maestro was in the plant denial position, and if he had stayed alive or even won the fight against Fabian, we might have seen a very different outcome and possibly map number 2 already. But as you stated, infinite overtime. The sides will switch every round, and you have to be 2 up over your opponent in order to win in Infinite OT. So this is just going to keep going and going and going, I imagine. Based on the way that these rounds have been playing out, that last half was a back and forth entirely. It was Empire G2, Empire G2, Empire G2. That's the whole half in the previous one. So we'll have to see some pretty amazing play from one of these teams to get us to map number 2, and I can see this just rolling on and on.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
I only allocated spots for 6 rounds of overtime on my notebook.
Yeah. Oh no, I see that.
I could be the real loser.
I actually have a similar problem. I have a few more lines than you, but it could be problematic.
I bought this notebook before they announced the changes to the rounds, so I was like, oh, it's perfectly set up for 10-round games. Oh, now it's 12-round games. Oh, great. I guess I'll just have to make that one work.
And now Infinite OT.
I ask you, make this one quick for both of you, please. We got 5 maps to play, and we got more exciting siege ahead. So, first round of overtime. As we stated and will stress throughout this broadcast, unlimited overtime. Map that the Brazilian casters love to shout from time to time, and they're going to probably have multiple opportunities to do so here, at least given what we've seen on Coastline. We can speculate as much as we want. For the time being, G2 will try to attack this site by taking control of Penthouse first. And the master side of things is they'll drone out both of the 2 rooms, just next to the bathroom. And already jNSzki by that penthouse wall is now all the way over towards luggage. He's got Fabian droning him in, he knows to clear up, but he's worried. Where could Joystick be? Keep in mind that the cloaking ability of Joystick would be in a position where he might be ever so elusive. That's a down and a finish on the Scyther as Pengu gets the kill that he wants, and jNSzki finds Joystick. G2 looking to put two together here on the board as they have a good start. Karzheka looking for a body. He knew that there was somebody waiting, but jNSzki will win the fight. The Finns are heating up. Sheppard is there to try and cool them off, but speaking of Finns, Kanto will finish Sheppard, and Pengu stomps Shock. Match point, G2.
They only need one more. Now they get to go to defense. Been a while since they've been here, but they've got some reliable sites to go to. Kitchen was a mixed result for G2, but the one site that they really did enjoy going to was the double bar. So you can expect G2 to likely bring us to that blue sunrise bar right this second, as they have yet to lose it. And based on the success they just had, the absolute triumph in the previous round, they're in an absolutely fantastic position, both mentally and in terms of round count. That nade from Pengu, such a powerful play. jNSzki on the flank watch as well. We saw Karzheka going for a long flank, or rather Joystick, but he was punished and unable to accomplish anything as the Vigil. There were 4 anchors in that round for Empire, and, well, they all just get picked apart one after another. G2 took from inside the building that time around, something that they hadn't been doing as frequently in their previous attacking habit.
Probably the loudest the crowd has been for much of this weekend.
Certainly the loudest.
They were pretty loud for Norarengo.
Oh, that's true.
They were pretty loud for Norarengo.
Attackers
Yeah.
have discovered the location
So you
of a bomb.
correctly predicted it as we go back down to the double bars. And I mean, you actually correctly predicted it this time, because last time during the operator phase, you predicted the operator after they picked it and made it seem like you were
5
right.
seconds to go.
I don't know what you're talking about, Parker. That did not happen.
Your tricks don't work on me, you witch. I
Okay.
know.
Attackers
Wow.
recovered the bomb diffuser.
That's a low one.
You got it right this time.
Okay, I did.
You got it right this time.
Yep.
So here's the biggest problem that G2 had when they were defending, is that they would lose a body early on. jNSzki was usually one of the people who would fall early, possibly even Kantoraketti.
Yep.
Sometimes it was Fabian. Well, you've got jNSzki upstairs in penthouse. Theater. He's going to be sitting over in theater. He's got the jammers leading into the penthouse side. And jNSzki just simply wait. See if he'll die early, or if he'll actually be able to walk away with an opening frag this time.
Fabian is the player inside of the South office, and he has been doing so much work throughout this match. I definitely expect if Empire decide to confront him, he's going to punish them for that control. At least likely get 1 kill out of that engagement. But Empire is going to clear upstairs first before they start pushing the site at the bottom. Ooh, Karzheka nearly coming into an engagement there with Fabian. He's going to keep opening up holes, but Fabian getting shot from above, and he'll get finished off by the nade. Scyther, good coordination there with Karzheka to get that kill. And it's 1 rotation from Kantoraketti. And, well, I falsely predicted that Fabian would punish Empire for that control, and it's going to get even worse for G2 as Shock eliminates Pengu. So here we go. It's looking a lot like the last round, but now a complete mirror image as Empire are the ones in control.
You said this, these teams go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again.
Yep.
That's exactly what's happening, at least for the time being. But as we've talked about many times, the dreaded 5v3 advantage, where teams start to take chances and you can easily lose control. You get a little bit too aggressive. Now, Team Empire's been bringing a hard breacher almost every single attack, if not every attack, and hear 1 exothermic charge go off, which is not a sound that you are used to hearing on Coastline. Expecting there to be a body down in courtyard. There's Karzheka. How does he land that shot onto jNSzki? jNSzki completely unaware of Karzheka's position. And Goga and Kanto will be the only 2 remaining members. There's Kanto, but he loses it to Karzheka. Scyther is there. Empire equalizes. How does that even happen? Where do they come from? And Empire just dive on him, and we will be back tied up.
And if I'm not mistaken, another perfect round. We've been having so many of these throughout this match. And here we go, 7-7, as you said. A constant back and forth. And here it is now Empire's turn to go onto defense. G2 will have to attack. And it's going to be, looks like, billiards. No success for the defenders so far in OT. But a pretty substantial attackers-favored OT start.
It's a great play by Shock, wow. Karzheka knows that there's a body there, he's got a drone over top of it, takes out jNSzki as the mute is caught. And Karzheka looks for the other body. It's nice aiming from Karzheka, who's a bit of a slower start to a lot of these matches. Like you said, he's not exactly been the top performer that he has been online. He could just be coming down to land pressure as well.
So, Empire setting themselves up by billiards here. Now, this was a round that, if I'm not mistaken, actually a site that Empire are pretty good at holding. They've had a decent track record here so far. Bit of a back and forth. A couple rounds where we saw G2 clear in through the building on this site and actually have a lot of success. They were able to take out the anchors one by one. Joystick tries to go for deep realms here quite a lot by the kitchen area using Vigil, and he gets punished for it more often than not. It's when Joystick goes for runouts on this site that Empire sees success. Usually he is able to accomplish his goal, do some damage if not get a kill. And I'm sure that's what we're going to see from Joystick again, as he actually is already running out right now, and it's going to be on the northeast corner. Nobody will be punished except for Joystick. Oh, Kantoraketti, excellent positioning and timing to land that shot. And now Empire are the ones that find themselves in a tricky spot following one of Joystick's runouts.
That's a big win,
Yeah.
all things considered.
Promise.
I see what you did there.
That's the last time I'm going to say it.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
But yeah, Joystick taking a big gamble. Jonas, I'm assuming screen peeking. I think that breaks some kind of rules when you're all sitting around the TV playing GoldenEye, split screen. Can't do that, Jonas.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
So,
attackers dropped the
Pengu
diffuser.
pick up that diffuser, and he's sitting downstairs. Now, this is not the greatest spot for Pengu if he doesn't drop it. There you go, he's dropped it. Goga picked it back up. There you go, cool. Excellent.
They have hands on.
Shockwave goes down Empire. This was usually a defender-sided matchup, but the second kill for Kanto, he almost manages to get another unless there's a reinforcement in place of where Sheppard is seated. It does look like that's the case. Trying to be the best Goga possible, Scyther just simply sit and wait at the top of those cool vibe stairs. He'll be able to look into hookah if need be, as Sheppard's flank will be covered by a bulletproof camera on that reinforced panel. G2 have been completely foregoing hard breach, so unless you use one of your explosives to take it out, that camera will likely persist for quite some time. So we hit the halfway mark here of this round number 15.
Since there's such low manpower on the side of Empire, they have a tentative hold on the B bomb site, and it's going to be a lot reliant on the C4 and Yokai drones that Empire could have in hand at this moment in time. G2's getting good information droning into the site right now. They're going to know that there's one in the B hallway and two in the A bomb site. Scyther from that hallway going for a challenge under the balcony. Lands some shots, but not enough to get a kill. And he's also got to hold on to the cool vibe stairs. The lifeline doing so much work, but Scyther, what a flick, despite the lifeline. Taking out Pengu on the main stairs. Goga's in sight, and he's gonna get punished by Scyther as he peeks into the hallway. Fabian also simultaneously managed to get Sheppard inside of A. So it's just Scyther and Karzheka. One in A, one in the hallway. And finally, Scyther goes down to Kantoraketti. To be one for Empire. Karzheka takes out Jonas coming from behind. He's just trying to hold on to that diffuser. 25 seconds left, so G2 need to go for the plant at some point. It's another here for Karzheka, and he goes for the follow-up, but no! Kantoraketti, what a round! And G2 bring it back to match point.
Round 16, Michael, are we about to cast the longest siege match by round count that we've done here?
I imagine so. I think we've probably have the two worst teams ever in history to go against each other in overtime, and at some point it's going to start punishing us.
It's going to punish them.
As well.
The longer that teams play in unlimited overtime, then the longer that fatigue is going to start to set in. You can look at it in traditional sports as well. Teams just find themselves in a position where you get tired after a while. A best of 5 is already grueling for a lot of these teams, but a best of 5 where you are this evenly matched and every single round in overtime means that there could be another round after it with no end in sight, yeah, good luck. But at least we're being treated to some high-tier siege so far. G2 will go back onto match point as we move into round number 16. G2 just won the hookah bomb site, and well, guess what, Michael? They're going to go to the hookah bomb site.
So, understanding they really like to find themselves at this part of the map on the west side, top floor. Sensible from G2. Only need to win one more round to put just a map number 2, but of course, Empire could bring this back to or even round count at 8-8. Would be pretty high up there in terms of round count overall for Siege matches.
5 seconds remaining.
The setup right now from G2 looks like they're going to be going for a pretty extended roam. That's standard. We've been seeing a bunch of rounds from G2 where they leave one, max 2 people on the site and have everybody else go for roam early in the round. It has yet to be really truly punished for G2 when that does happen.
Hey, there we go at 16 rounds played. This will be the longest map ever played in the Pro League or Majors.
Thank you, Spleck.
Or at CGG, or whomever.
Whomever.
Thank you, production team, for popping that up.
Yeah, as well. That's good information to have. So there you go, already longest match.
I'm sure it'll be an
Bomb
exciting
located
one.
by attackers.
Empire is droning out most of the Aqua side of things, and Scyther's looking to stash a drone somewhere under that. It appears to be the billiards table or just below, as there's 2 bodies from Empire, or 2 drones from Empire downstairs in this office. But we don't know the information that there's nobody from G2 playing over there. We got Goga in pink right now, just sitting patiently waiting.
Again, only 2 anchors here for G2 currently. They do have a Pulse potentially underneath who could use some C4 later on. Empire's droning underneath though and trying to clear it. You can see jNSzki is playing under VIP right now inside of Kitchen. He could get some good C4s off. Oh, good reactions from Shock. Kantoraketti punished for his aggression. And he's not gonna have enough information to go for that peek. Because of that, he is now the first man down.
So an early loss for G2, and this is the story when G2 goes on to defense, is that they lose bodies early. Now, it was only 90 seconds in, so it's not that early, but if Kanto had a C4 in his hand, then it's obviously a pretty damning blow. Second C4 for G2 will be the hands of jNSzki. He'll blow up just above Kitchen and net nothing. Nobody from Team Empire have a single scratch on them, at least for the time being.
This wall being opened up is huge for Empire, and it's going to allow them to cut off the rotation, as we have seen many times from both teams so far throughout this match. Shock's actually going to get a kill from it. That's his second in the round. Karzheka will get Pengu as he enters into the site as well. So Empire in a great form right now. And in Aquarium, Karzheka shuts down Fabian on the rotation. It's just jNSzki, but he has no C4. Aware he's being hunted by Joystick, but he loses the fight. Empire, what a round. And if I'm not mistaken, another perfect one. Very impressive to see, and we have yet to see a successful defense win in OT. It's so unusual.
Keep in mind that we've played what now, 16 rounds? We're going to round 17?
Yeah.
Scyther has the most deaths on Empire with 10.
Has Empire used their timeout yet?
They have not.
I don't think they have, so I suppose they could still pop it out when they really need to. I imagine they'll do that once they push it to match point. And they want to lock things down, but who knows? Just a expectation, I suppose. We'll be going to kitchen service entrance here for Empire, and wow, look at that shot from Shock. Had an awesome round individually, as did Karzheka. The pinch into the site was pretty standard from Empire. I mean, they took control of Aquarium, they cleared out from underneath, and they pretty much pushed in from VIP at the same time. They cut off the rotation between the sites. Aquarium then was able to push into Billiards. Once in Billiards, they could have gone for a plant, but it wasn't necessary. Why? Because G2 are taking the fight to their enemy, as G2 does. But they were losing those fights, as we've been seeing the defense from both teams do very consistently throughout OT. Kitchen is going to be the first, well, this is going to be the first time we've seen Kitchen in OT, and it's going to be Empire who will bring us there. I imagine these kill counts are going to get very high moving forward.
I mean, this is the perfect plan.
10 seconds to go.
Pengu lost the kill record to Rampy, and if you've got unlimited overtime, you can get it back.
Hey, that's
5
true,
seconds
yeah.
to
What has he got to hit, 23?
23 kills.
Yep, so go Pengu, get those 23.
If you can, if you want to.
If he wants it back.
You got time. You got a ways to go, you only got 8.
Yeah, so he's not in the best position to make that happen. Some of the players on Team Empire are, though, so who knows? This kitchen defense is very much just that, as Empire have a light hold on the top floor. Joystick will be the one there with Karzheka. So a bit of a duo, but like I said, light hold for top floor control. There is a Valkyrie, but to counter from G2, Kantoraketti on IQ, which is an operator he has been playing quite a lot of throughout this map. A very potent operator, especially here, even more so when Valkyrie is left unbanned. And Echo as well.
It really does feel like a lot of these rounds, the team that loses the first body loses the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then even sometimes they don't get a single kill.
It's almost Karzheka there as he was under fire and manages to escape the hail of bullets that will rain over his head. jNSzki is hot on pursuit. Hot in pursuit is through the billiards. He knows that there might be a body playing over by that musical equipment inside of VIP. There's nobody there. Karzheka is holding the other wall. It's a soft wall. For the time being, I don't think he's been detected at all. Also just have Fabian smashing through that castle barricade at the top of luggage. Shockwave, who was playing up there, will now drop.
Karzheka feeling a lot of pressure, but he's going to at least punish G2, and that's Empire actually sustaining control of the top floor until Goga and Kantoraketti have something to say about it. Now Empire are punished for their control upstairs, while Shock inside of main lobby is trying his best to rotate and stay alive. Scyther also attempting to support Shock, covering his retreat. Kantoraketti from above was the one dishing out that damage through the drop down, and he seems to want to drone now, looking for his prey. Shock being on low HP is going to give G2 a good advantage moving forward, but there's still plenty of good anchor play from Empire, and the fact that we've got the C4 potentially on Sheppard and the Yokai drones from Scyther, this could still easily be an Empire round despite that damage being done. Fabian missing out very narrowly there on a kill.
Missing out a little bit on that hatch as well. I don't know if that was just a possible swing of frustration or not, maybe even fat-fingered it, though it looked like the intent was there. 45 seconds to work with. G2 have held match point or a tie with Empire through every single round of overtime. Empire have not held a lead since they've gone back. And yeah, Fabian does it. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's a bit frustrated. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe fat fingering as now he'll go back onto his drone. Shockwave is very low. But what else is low is the clock, and that's not going to help G2 at all. Empire just simply needs to wait. You got Yokai drones in effect as well. Goga in an altercation will lose quite a bit of HP. Scyther has been so good. Shock is finally down, but there's a double push from Scyther. He can't get them all, two from G2, and Sheppard will once again be all on his own, but he takes out Kanto, and where's the other body? It's Fabian through the hole. G2 back to match point, and we'll go to round 18. As G2 have not been able to put this one away just yet. Will something finally change as no team on defense has won an overtime round? Michael.
Well, the Let's Go G2s come out from the crowd to try and enthuse them here in this round. They've gotten so close, but have yet to manage to make it work. And as you said, defense the side that is definitely not favored here. That was a similar situation to one we've seen Sheppard in before, but he wasn't able to clutch it yet again. Reminiscent of the Pengu clutch we saw by Billiards earlier in the match. Kitchen defense here for G2. A lot of these rounds, G2 have been following in the footsteps from Empire in terms of where they're going to defend. They will do that yet again. They're going to have to do something never done before in OT, as you discussed, in order to lock this map out. The operator selection for both teams, very standard fare. G2 bringing as much as they can in order to deny. Got lots of lesion traps for information, the mute jammers for the drones. Echo is also being brought for extended site control. That is going to enable G2 yet again to have that off-site roam in abundance. Currently, and it's still in the prep phase, but currently there is only one anchor for G2. And we've seen this multiple times. It has yet to be punished by Empire. Partially that's because G2 is very good at rotating back to site when it's necessary. Empire is aware of this and they don't want to take any unnecessary risks. I doubt they will in this round, especially considering they are currently on match point. Maybe when they're feeling a little bit more comfortable moving forward, but not a great opportunity right now to try and go for a rush strat, that's for sure.
I mean, Empire have taken a couple chances when they were on defense, and one of them worked really well. That was the round that I think Joystick won at the early onset, but then after that, didn't really do too much for them here. Just a little bit of a note as we are now in round number 18. If you ever feel bad about yourself, just realize that you can't feel as badly as Penthouse Theater, because for 18 rounds, the longest match of Rainbow Six Siege, nobody's wanted to play with you.
That's accurate, yeah.
It's very sad.
Nobody's gone to Penthouse yet. Maybe because the Mira's been banned, that would make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, it's not a great sight, and it is a little bit sad, Parker, you're right. So, Empire looking to clear upstairs first things first. They've been shut down and punished for this before, but it's not going to be the case this time as Pengu goes down. And oh, a yokai drone to boot. I'm not sure what Goga was thinking with the yokai drone there. There was no one on G2 to use that drone to get a kill. Scyther's going to miss some shots there through the bars very narrowly as well. He will land at least one, I believe, onto jNSzki as he fell back.
jNSzki is prone on the floor right now, waiting for Shockwave inside of luggage. This could get real messy. Shockwave has been so accurate. He has been the jNSzki slayer, but there's Sheppard on the window. Control of luggage is gone, and Shockwave just simply waiting to see exactly what's going to happen with the rest of his team. Now it's Kantoraketti in tough spot. He's going to peek on up, but Shockwave is holding that angle as well. Kanto will head back downstairs. Shockwave on drone will probably find Kanto. So there you have it. Now Fabian by the main doorway, he knows there's a body nearby somewhere. He'll head in towards the bathroom, the safety of a wall that he cannot shoot through. But look at Shockwave, he does find Kanto. The attackers are just so good. And Fabian choking on his shots, they're not able to land what's needed. He's going to have to double up with Goga. 45 seconds left, and Team Empire in a position, and a good one. They've had so many flawless rounds, they are primed and ready for another. It's going to continue. Goga is just eliminated, but Fabian taking out Joystick. Sheppard holding that diffuser, and he's not going well for Fabian for the time being. He gets caught by Scyther. Is he able to land the shots? Oh, it's an absolute potato fest. Nobody can hit anything. Finally, Shockwave does. He's credited with that kill, and we'll go to round number 19. It's not a flawless round for Empire, but pretty darn close.
Both teams having an interesting round there, and as you said, round 19, it just keeps going. No one having any amount of success here so far on the defense. And that last round, so many players from G2 got picked off one after another. Empire were able to translate that into an easy push onto the site. It's more of the same, to be honest with you, Parker. The roam clear for both teams is very proficient. The roamers are getting shut down. When one of these teams decides to go for a full anchor, they're punished. Why? Because both of these teams are very good at setting up around a site if you're not going to deny the periphery room. So every single round, we see the fact that both these teams play similarly, working against each of them in turn, and giving us a constant back and forth. It's quite peculiar.
Here's how it works. G2 takes the lead, Empire ties. That's it. That's the whole story.
Yep, that's OT for you, ladies and gentlemen. Been quite interesting. Empire has yet to break away, of course, because, well, they started on defense, so yeah, that would make sense when you're going back and forth.
10 seconds remaining.
It's going to be billiards this time for Empire. They have tried this before, actually. They've tried this multiple times, so twice, in fact, in OT alone.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
And they haven't been able to make it work yet.
Oh, it's funny, we were looking at the schedule, and it says they've allocated 5 hours for the grand final. We think, okay, well, that's it. Every single map goes up to full distance. We don't see any fast rounds, etc. We're thinking to ourselves, like, yeah, we might see 5 maps between these teams, but I mean, surely it's not going to take 5 hours, right? Apparently, we were wrong, as we were going to spend 5 hours on Coastline alone.
Attackers have recovered their
Interesting
diffuser.
stat there. The opening duel has gone on to win the round 72% of the time on this map, so that is how important. You almost have a 3 in 4 chance to be able to do this if you get the very first pick.
So, if Empire manages to win this, yeah, they won't have won the match just yet. Pengu missing out on an opportunity there, but he goes for the follow-up, and again, just a few inches off. Shock could punish him. He set up a nice angle, but oh, more holes in the floor from Pengu. This anchor position has been read by G2 on how important it is for Empire and countered very directly. I love the play from Pengu and G2's awareness here in this round.
A lot of patience. That diffuser is still down as well on the foyer by Sunrise Bars. Pengu will take out most of the floor that he can see, or in his case, the roof, ceiling above him, and go on to drone. Diffuser is still down. Nobody's bothered to retrieve it. You got to imagine it's probably going to be Goga.
Yeah.
He's going to go get it.
It'll be Goga.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Goga's currently outside on the hookah balcony doing his job as effectively as possible. And we're 90 seconds in and really nothing between these two teams has occurred in terms of contact, which is the slowest pace that has been set.
we've seen full anchor from Empire, and we're seeing it again. And again, it will be punished. Pengu, an excellent nade onto Karzheka. Fabian and Kantoraketti get their own kills. And that's full control of A as well as B. It's just Scyther now who will get one for himself. Following his teammate also taking out one, it's 1 versus 3. This is technically winnable, but he's spotted out. The smoke saves him, allows for rotation, but it doesn't matter. Jonas corrects his mistake by getting the shot onto Scyther, and another attacking win.
Match point G2. Again, and again and again and again. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth match point for G2.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, they've been getting it a lot, and we're going into double digits here for the round counts of individual teams overall on round number 20. So, Penthouse Theater is locked in. The very first time we're gonna see it here in the longest match in Pro League tournament history for Siege.
It had to come out at some point.
It
Right?
did.
It had to come out at some point.
Certainly. I think this is a good enough time as any, considering neither of these teams have managed to win a defense. Hey, throw a curveball. What the heck? It's also going to be Clash from G2, which we've talked about before. It hasn't worked very well for G2 in the past, but hey, curveball. Why not? In this situation, I think it's appropriate timing.
You take chances, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen double digits up there in the...
Same.
Yeah, never seen it.
It looks weird.
I didn't even know what it looked like.
It got smaller. The text got smaller, and it's weird.
10 seconds to go.
I've never
Bigger
seen
number, smaller text. True. There you go.
It's accurate.
5 seconds
So,
left before insertion.
okay, a setup on Penthouse. And you can see that the
Attackers
Clash
have recovered their diffuser.
is going to be
Attackers
holding
are
on to
moving
those
to
main
defuse the bomb.
stairs.
Defender has left
And it's
the
going to be
area
a
of
double,
operation.
no, triple ACOG for G2, which makes sense on this site.
We've been very critical and a little bit skeptical of the Clash play from G2. It hasn't really looked like the most effective operator to use because G2 has largely used Jonas on roam with that Clash. So now, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to keep him nestled deep inside of sight. Yikes. I don't know. I'm mimicking just what you said earlier. But I wanted
It's true, though.
I wanted to comment on it as well.
It's-
I wanted to comment too. Because it's every single time we see G2 pull out the Clash, it really does not work.
Yeah, it's been something that teams have time and time again hurt them for, as it just doesn't seem to work with G2's play style. But like I said earlier, maybe this is the right time for a curveball. I think, no, not maybe. Certainly it is. We haven't seen a defensive win
bomb
yet.
has been
They
located.
need to do something surprising in order to achieve that.
The previous round, G2 had nothing really going for them except for presence and state of mind as to where Empire was. The very first kill came about a minute to go, give or take, and it looks like we're in similar circumstances with this round as well. As that aggression from Team Empire to walk in, take an early pick is completely absent. In fact, G2 is still able to roam, and they haven't had an opening death or an opening kill yet. That 72% of the time statistic will weigh in the minds of us and the viewers for quite a while to see which of these two teams will be able to draw first blood. It's just over halfway through the round. Empire droning themselves in around VIP, now into Penthouse, and possibly being able to establish a drone somewhere nearby where that intel can be so imperative for their push. The Clash is downstairs inside of bathroom. Michael, the Clash not being nestled inside a site, mistake or no?
I think the way that we've seen G2 play Clash in the past, this is not necessarily a mistake or no, it just seems to be them trying to go with a new mindset on how they're going to play it. He has fallen back to the 90 hallway, so this is as good a position as any he can call for his teammates. And while there's nobody on B, there are plenty of people from G2 who can at any moment spring into action to deny B. Thermite is going to be very important on this round, but the VIP wall has yet to be opened with only 40 seconds left.
There's no mute and there's no bandit in place. There's no denial. Down goes Fabian. Joystick was just patiently waiting for the pulse. And now Empire look to try and push in on the site. Jonas is still upright. He's still going to be able to slow everybody down as G2 are probably in their best position to put this away that they've been in so far. And Empire will need to be hasty as Goga gets eliminated by Sheppard. There's Karzheka too, and Empire pulling this together in the dying seconds, but Kanto will answer back. Karzheka circles on in. Kanto, you have to hurry as Jonas is going to get gunned down. Plant going down, Joystick sprints out. Karzheka is just waiting and guarding the doorway as Kanto picks one off, but Scyther finishes it, and there's going to be no match point again. We go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth again. Round 21 between these two teams.
I slightly more efficiently set up my notebook to account for overtime, having, I think, quite a lot of redundant lines, and I need a new page now. That last round from Empire was honestly really impressive.
Crowd coming to life.
Let's go G2.
No, there's Empire crowd. There's Empire chants in there as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's a mixed crowd. It's a mixed opinion here. I mean, both of these teams having such an interesting story. G2, the Titans of Siege, the most victorious team ever in Siege's history, and Empire, brand new, really, all things considered. Just getting into this level of play. That's a team kill, but Scyther did lock it out, so that's the most important thing. We're going to be going to double bar here, ladies and gentlemen, for Empire's next attempt at a successful defense.
Here's a fun fact for you. G2 have played more rounds in this map against Empire than they did against 2 maps for Reciprocity yesterday.
Oof. That's heavy.
That's a long one.
Yep.
That's a long one. So we've almost played 2 full maps of Siege now, and we are still on map 1, and we are still in a best of 5.
I mean, in theory, we have, depending on the way the map plays out, right? So, yeah, this has been an interesting one. Empire going on to defense. Again, double bar. No one's done a defense yet. They're setting themselves up with a roam this time. Empire has been going for mainly anchor plays thus far. Currently, they have 2 people on site. That's Behold. And the rest of Empire are going to be above, or so it seems. G2 is aware of this. They're going to start droning it out. Having gathered this information, it's going to allow them to better calculate where they need to attack. You're going to see already some top floor presence from G2 as they start pushing into Aquarium, which is not being held directly by Empire, holding on to Billiards and Hookah, which they can, punish Aquarium from, but it's not exactly an anchor position, nor somewhere you can hold as a defender. We've seen some players try to hold behind the Aquarium bar, but it's a difficult position to pull off and an unnecessary risk, I think, especially when the stakes are so high. Pengu just trying to watch for the runouts here. Goga also watching for the runouts, as well as Fabian. They're all expecting somebody to run out from the B window, and they were very nearly right. We did see somebody from Empire pushing toward it, but there was a fallback. Good call there from Empire. They would have been punished.
Joystick taking a lot of damage in the very early position inside of Hookah, but there's a body that gets down to Kanto. Up on the tarps, he's going to try to crawl to safety.
It's possible they don't know that downed Kantoraketti, as he is allowed to fall back.
jNSzki is in. He'll be able to take out Joystick. Shockwave unable to do much else to help his team. Kanto has not been picked up just yet. So it's technically 4v4. There you go. 5v4 in favor of G2 as Kanto gets brought back to life. It's over by a spawn. Karzheka takes out jNSzki inside of Aquarium. He's going to drop as well if he wants to go through the hatch if necessary. It's a full court press, and there comes Shockwave, but no! Pengu slaps Shockwave, pulls out the knife, and then tears up the wall as Karzheka runs out. And oh my goodness, a good gamble, and Pengu gets softened up in the process, but still a big win for G2 on that one.
Such a save there from Pengu, and quite possibly the difference maker in this round. C4 from Scyther will miss, and that's truly unfortunate for Empire. Karzheka's trying to cover, and he will! Pengu does take out Scyther, though, on the entry, and Fabian will follow it up with a kill onto Sheppard, leaving just Karzheka. He needs to get quite a lot of kills, and he's going to get another one onto Kantoraketti. He's had a fantastic round so far. Pengu is lit up, and there's only 25 seconds, so this is definitely winnable. Pengu's waiting for Fabian to cover him, so allowing for the plant. The nade comes out to deny one of the rotations, and it'll detonate, so the denial no longer in. C4 from Karzheka, he has information, and it lands! Pengu goes down! There's only 9 seconds, and Fabian's going for the rush, but Katie lands the shot, yes! What a round from Fabian! And G2 keep it going, back to match points.
How much of this can your heart take? This feels like the 5th map. Yeah. This is the 1st map. Karzheka is sitting currently at 21 kills right now. He is 1 kill away from tying Rampy's record for most kills in a single map. Now,
Sorry, Rampy.
I think there needs to be an asterisk, as there was with Pengu's record and there was with Rampy's, but still, the record will go to Karzheka if he's able to take 1 or more kills.
Hackers have located a bomb.
So,
Michael, no defending victory.
none in overtime. No.
We're in a defender favorite meta, by the way.
I think, Parker, this map alone is going to substantially hurt the win rate for defense on Coastline, and that's worth noting. We're going to be going to the double bar again, but this time it will be G2 to try and defend it. Karzheka came so close right there. So close.
He missed a couple shots.
That's all it is.
That's really all it is. He missed a couple shots.
Yeah. I think that's really a testament to the quality of both of these teams, how close they are in this competition. And it's already shaping up to be one of the better finals we've ever had in one of these majors.
Attackers recover.
I feel like both these teams found out how hard it would be to top the EG Penta match from last year.
Yeah, last Invitational's final.
What can we do?
Yeah.
We can play 3 times as many rounds as them? Bye-bye Joystick. What do we say about opening kills? G2 will get the very first one as Kanto with the same peak. He always does. Well, he gets away with it this time.
That's the momentum builder there for G2, and quite possibly the very last thing that's going to push around towards G2's favor on defense. They need to fully capitalize on that and carry this into another round win. If they're able to get it, we will see map number 2 right after. But again, still no defensive wins. Relying on that statistic we saw earlier, around 70% of the time when a team gets an opening frag, they are winning in this match.
Bomb has been located.
That's what G2 needs to rely on here. They've got to hold out for 2 whole minutes, though. The round only really just started, all things considered.
The X factor for Team Empire has always been Scyther, but bye-bye Karzheka. Rampy, for this round, your record's safe for the time being. Bye-bye to Karzheka. The Sledge trying to use that verticality in the C4 will be his undoing. This is a good position for G2, who want to show some mercy to the crowd. Probably want this to continue forever, but we have to go to a second map at some point.
Well, Empire wants it to continue forever at this point. Up against a wall, 3 players and a dream to take map number 1. So much put into this one map alone in a best-of-5 series. It's truly impressive from both squads, but G2 are in such an amazing position to just end it outright. The clutch factor for G2 has been a huge story so far. Not so much for Empire, not nearly as much at least.
Trying to figure out if there's a yokai drone by the window sitting inside a blue bar. There's a grenade that's going to go in. It takes out a bit of Pengu's HP, but ultimately the mute will survive for the time being. There's a minute to go, and control of that office is in favor of Empire. They're a bit split up for the time being, as they also sit inside of the Sunrise foyer. Shock will give his position away as he tries to go for a couple of hands to present themselves, but Pengu takes out Shock. It's 2v5. Are we finally going to have a thrilling conclusion here to map number 1? Goga just sitting and waiting, watching. He's got Kanto right next to him. Where are Scyther and Sheppard? As they're going to have to hurry, but Shockwave already down. Scyther sprints right in, takes out 1. He loses a bit of HP, but he's traded off, and there you finally have it. It might have taken 22 rounds, and the time that most teams would have for 2 maps. The longest match in Rainbow Six Pro League and major history is in the books there, with G2 prevailing by a score of 12-10.
What an excellent win there for G2 and taking the first defense in OT. So quite a long one. It took them a while, that's for sure, but truly impressive. And yes, we can confirm Karzheka, 21 kills, so congratulations, Rampy. You still have it.
Now, because of how long these matches are, we don't usually do this, but we're going to throw down to our analyst desk and let everybody stretch their legs, because that was essentially 2 full matches, if not more, that we just saw get played. So Milos and the gang, please feel free to break down this marathon match that we just witnessed.
Thank you very much, Intero and Kicks. And first of all, if things could take quite a while here to finish up, but this was